What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Nakia. Nakia was released last night and I don't know what to say about this character. I honestly don't know what to say about this character. I'm trying to find any justification to purchase this character, any justification to recommend this character, but I can't do it. And as it seems, it's not only me. Most of the content creators are skipping this character, and we'll take a look at exactly why. What is Nakia good for? There are a few things that she's definitely good for, but it's not that many. So we are going to talk about Alliance Wars, we are going to talk about Scourge, and we are going to talk about raids. Is Nakia going to be important in any of these game modes? Is she a character that is going to make any difference to your account? And is this a character you should aim towards and spend power cores and refreshes and so on, obtaining more shards for her? We are going to talk about all of that. And as always, if you like my information on these videos, make sure you share them with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. So let's get started. Once again, we are going to talk about Nakia, take a look at our stats, take a look at exactly how kit works. Then we are going to take a look at footage of Wakanda, footage of Nakia, and something else that I don't remember, but let's get started. Okay, so first off, we are going to take a look at Nakia, and in terms of the stats are a little bit misleading, and this is a big problem because some people are validating her value on her stats because she has the highest damage in game, and while that is true, it doesn't matter because the value you are going to get out of this highest damage in game, it's going to be only in Alliance Wars. And in Alliance Wars, because of her passive, she's also going to give more damage to Black Panther 1mm, to Okoye, and to Shuri. So in Alliance Wars, even Shuri has the highest damage in game. So this is a very, very misleading argument, and don't fall in this trap because outside of Alliance Wars, the multipliers on the abilities that are good for Nakia, the multipliers are not that high. So the high damage with low multipliers, it doesn't matter. Like if you have 50% damage and you have 200% multiplier, that's going to be the same as having 100% having 100k damage with 100% multiplier. So it's just misleading saying that she has the highest damage in game when she's not going to be used anywhere. So it's the highest damage to sit on your roster without doing anything? I guess so. Then in terms of the other stats, she has nice armor, but all the Wakanda have nice armor. Then she has nice focus. All the Wakanda have nice focus, also because they get offense up, and that gives them 50% more focus. Then she is the fastest Wakanda character. And does she provide anything by being the fastest character? Let's take a look at that to see if it's going to be the case or not. And something that is not worth taking a look at is that she's skilled and she's also a controller, so that's going to bring some benefits and also some problems with Nakia. Okay, so taking a look at her kit, she clears positive effects with her basic, and that can be nice or not, depends. Do you use it at the beginning of the match or not? When are you going to use her basic? It's a little bit hard to tell, and we have right here with on Alliance Wars, if you use her special, she's going to apply Disrupt to the enemies, and that's nice. That's a turn 1 ability, and supposedly this is the ability that you are going to use turn 1. So you have to decide, am I going to use the special and apply Disrupt, or am I going to do the basic and clear positive effects? Most of the time the enemies don't have positive effects on turn, or even if they have positive effects, they have positive effects and the boosts because they are on defense. So that means that clearing only 2 positive effects might not be enough. Then she gains stealth on crit, and this means that whenever she gets stealth and whenever she has several stacks of stealth, she's gonna do more damage with her ultimate, because instead of rebounding chain for only 3 targets, she's gonna rebound chain for 3 targets plus whichever number of stealth stacks she has on herself. And the damage multiplier here, you can see it's not that great. In Alliance Wars, I think, let me see, in Alliance Wars, I think it's gonna be piercing damage. No, if this character has stealth, instead it's going to be piercing damage. So I guess at this point she's gonna start doing some nice damage, and in Alliance Wars only she's gonna apply ability block to the enemies. If she would apply ability block in all game modes, then I would say that, okay, this is a good character, this is a character you must invest in. But the fact that she only applies ability block in Alliance Wars, it makes her very, very relevant for different game modes: Dark Dimension, Raids, Cosmic Crucible, Dark Dimension, Raids, Cosmic Crucible, and that's pretty much it. Yes, Raids, Cosmic Crucible, and Dark Dimension. And how can I justify this character? Oh, she does damage. Wow, I have never seen a character that does damage. I guess maybe Emma Frost is one of the few characters that doesn't do damage, I guess only with her basic. So wow, super impressive. Nakia does damage. And yeah, this one turn disrupt, it's nice, it's okay, but clear negative effects from self, this is the first ability that you are going to use, so it's kind of like you don't want to use this ability. It's a little bit inconvenient. So I don't know, the only scenario where I see this being useful is maybe against Tangled Web in Cosmic Crucible, because Spider-Man 2099 might go faster than you, and I don't even think it's the case, because she is 128 speed and he's 127, so it's very, very hard to find something here, some gem. Where is the gem that makes like Nakia must-have character? Outside of Alliance Wars, because inside of Alliance Wars she actually has something good, which is this ability right here, that in Alliance Wars, if she is charged, she's going to attack the most injured enemy by 100% damage. But if this is in Alliance Wars offense, it's going to be 350% damage. Now, because this is piercing and because she has a very, very high base damage, then this 350% piercing, this is a good multiplier for this attack, and she's gonna get charged quite often. So as you can see, in Alliance Wars she's gonna be great. What about outside of Alliance Wars? What about Scourge? What about Cosmic Crucible? What about Alliance, Raids? Today I'm messing up the names. What about Dark Dimension? Is she gonna have any value in any of these game modes? Because, as I mentioned, she's a skill character. So is she gonna have some use in situations like Raids? Can you pair her up with the Secret Avengers and make her more useful than Shang-Chi? Maybe you can use Okoye and her, and they're gonna be amazing in Raids? Well, it's not the case. While Okoye, she provides a little bit of usefulness on Raids, because she's able to apply offense down to the enemies with her special, and it's on a decent sized cooldown. It's not really amazing, but it's okay. And then she can also turn rewind the enemies by 50%. Nakia is not able to provide anything like that. Is there any situation where we need this disrupt? Not really. So I really don't see the value of her in Raids. In terms of Cosmic Crucible, we have Killmonger and we have M'Baku that have bonuses for those game modes, and some people are looking down on M'Baku, but you'll see that it's not the case. We're gonna take a look at some footage of M'Baku in the Scourge event, and he's actually pretty decent there if you have the cooldowns ready to go. And he provides tons and tons of utility. He applies counters, he applies charges, he applies the defense up for 2 turns that gives more energy to Shuri, which allows Shuri to give more energy to the entire team. Then he applies more charges for the entire Wakanda. He has the chance of taunting without requiring you to activate an ability. Then he can also heal himself. So these are tons and tons of utilities that M'Baku can do even without using his abilities. You don't have to do his special or his ultimate to activate any of these abilities. And on top of that, he's going to increase the damage against characters with vulnerability, because we are lowering their armor. So it's not like you can take Nakia to Cosmic Crucible and that she's going to be way better than M'Baku, because that's just not true. So as you can see, it's very, very hard to justify this character. Cosmic Crucible, no. Raids, no. Scourge, no. Dark Dimension, no. her stats just don't keep up with the other characters, even with the small boosts that, even with the boost that they get from Captain Sam, because they are skill characters, even with getting those deflects on spawn, it's like I said, the multipliers are just not good enough, and because most of the time she's going to be on stealth, whether it is on raids, whether it is on Scourge, and whether it is on Dark Dimension, that means the enemies will focus even harder on the characters that are not on stealth. So this is going to be a liability for your team, because your team is going to get exposed to more damage instead of having the damage distributed to multiple characters. So because of all these reasons, I honestly cannot find a gem that tells me that I need to get this character. There is nothing here that says, oh yeah, I must have. And if I'm going to use her on Scourge, I'm going to use her as a sack character. I don't need her to be maxed out in order for it to be usable. And with that in mind, once again, this is going to be the first character I skip this entire year, and it's not because I can't afford it, because fortunately enough, the channel has been going quite a lot, and on Twitch as well. Make sure you follow on Twitch, not only on YouTube, and if you are new to YouTube, make sure you subscribe as well. But it's not because I can't afford it, it's just because I cannot see any value of this character in the game right now. Now, there is one specific situation where she is useful, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so let's take a look at where Nakia is valuable, and huge shout out to Monster Gaming on YouTube. And I have no idea who this person is, but I came across her YouTube channel. Yes, it's a girl. So I came across her YouTube channel, and she has Nakia at a decent gear level. So we are going to just skim to her videos and see where Nakia is actually useful. So any teams that have Dormammu, Nakia is going to be extremely strong. She has the highest base damage in the game, and she has a very nice multiplier in Alliance Wars. So obviously she's going to be nice in Alliance Wars. And on top of that, she's going to get additional charges whenever she faces characters that revive and characters that have charges. And that's going to be Infinity Watch, that's going to be any team with Dormammu, and that's pretty much it. Also against the Young Avengers, Kate Bishop can get charges, and that will help the Wakanda against the Young Avengers. But honestly, you can use any kind of 600k A-Force with Doctor Doom and destroy the Young Avengers, so I don't think that's a good reason. So you can check out her opening the Red Stars. It doesn't have commentary, and this is a low effort channel, so hopefully she will start to improve her videos, especially in terms of the thumbnails, because like this is very hard to see if the content has any value. But we're gonna skim through this, and let's put this on silent so it doesn't make too much noise. Okay, so we can see right here that she's facing Tangled Web with Dormammu. Now, the Wakanda without Nakia, they already destroy any kind of Tangled Web, because you can one-shot the Spider Weaver extremely fast, and then even if Spider Weaver survives, the counterattacks will remove her charges and you're going to be able to destroy it. But like I said, any team that has Dormammu, any team that has multiple charges, like Spider Weaver, like Kate Bishop, like I think even Doctor Strange Supreme, he also gets charges. So any characters that get charges, they are going to give charges to Nakia. So even that they lost Shuri, they are completely destroying their team, and as soon as you get Black Panther going, the match is pretty much over. So this is against Tangled Web. Once again, shout out to Monster Gaming, and if you want to see more content of her, make sure you subscribe to her channel. Okay, here we have a Dormhold. Again, Wakanda with Nakia is very strong. Oh, this is the one with Secret Avengers. So this one doesn't really matter, because, I mean, Secret Avengers with Dormammu, who gives a flying F about it. Okay, so let's take a look at this one with Darkhold. So the funny part about this is that, yes, they can defeat the Darkhold with Dormammu, but they cannot defeat the Darkhold without Dormammu, because without Dormammu, they don't get charges, they don't get the revives. So that's going to be tons and tons of charges that Nakia is not going to obtain. So you can see that they do the turn rewind to Wong, then Dormammu got destroyed instantly. He didn't he didn't even have his first turn, and beyond that, Morgan Le Fay is already getting destroyed, because you can focus exactly which character you want to attack. And even if they go on stealth, Nakia is still going to do her passive attack, retaliation attack, and that's going to focus on Morgan Le Fay, and that's going to bypass the taunt of Wong. So that's going to be extremely powerful, but once again, this only happens if you are facing a team with a lot of revives and with a lot of charges. Okay, so that's the Dark Hold. What else we have here of interest? Unlimited X-Men. I think Gambit starts with a charge, but honestly, Unlimited X-Men is not relevant enough in Alliance Wars. Then she faces the Gamma team, and the Gamma team, they get a bunch of charges, but as you can expect, they simply get destroyed. Red Hulk does is special, and he completely destroys half of the team. And this is a big Nakia. This is not like a 3 stars Nakia. This is a 5 stars Nakia with a gear tier 15, level 90. So it's not something like super small or anything like that, but of course the Gamma destroys them. So very, very specific situations. It's only when you face teams with Dormammu that Nakia is going to be useful. So here we have the Young Avengers. Once again, it's not relevant enough. And that's pretty much it. So there is nothing else of interest to see here, but once again, if you want to see more of Monster Gaming, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. You have to really look forward to something interesting, because it doesn't have good thumbnails or titles, but you might find something here of informational value. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at a few matches of the Wakanda without Nakia on Scourge, because that's what matters, is the Scourge, because that will allow you to unlock Archangel. So we'll see if Nakia is important or not for Scourge, which is one of the best uses for Wakanda right now, because it's going to allow us to unlock other legendary character. Okay, so now you're going to take a look at some footage of the Wakanda on the Pestilence Scourge event, and this time I did a few tries just to make sure I play the best way possible in order to win. And for the first node, I was making a hybrid team to see if the Bionic Avengers can complement Wakanda on things that they lack of. So in some nodes I try to use V-Vision for the ability block, in other nodes I try to use Hulkbuster to apply the slow and the barrier to increase the survivability of the Wakanda. So I try to do these hybrid teams to see if we can make better teams, and you'll see that you don't need Nakia for anything. So let's take a look at this first node, and this is going to go extremely well. I have done this in the past with M'Baku as well, and to the same levels of success, not exactly. I would say that with M'Baku I had 85% win rate or successfulness. I don't know exactly how to say it, but with M'Baku it was already very, very good. Hulkbuster just adds that increase on survivability with the barrier and also with the slow. So you can see that we are just shredding that Lady Deathstrike with Okoye and with Black Panther 1mm, and we are also using 108 Scourge. So we have the Scourges that apply ability block to us whenever you use the special ability, and you have to be careful with this ability because sometimes you can get stuck with the Shuri ultimate that you are not able to use it, so be very careful with that. Okay, so as you can see, with Okoye, with Black Panther, and with Black Panther 1mm, we are just destroying the enemies. This is on difficulty 8. This is not on difficulty 7, this is difficulty 8, and we are just destroying the enemies. My Okoye is at level 81, maybe level 80 at this point in time, so it's not like super amazing. And my Black Panther 1mm is at 3 yellow stars, 3 red stars. The Nakia you saw, she was 5 yellow stars and 5 red stars, so that's a huge difference. Okay, so you can see right here Hulkbuster being extremely useful, applying that slow and giving more time to the Wakanda to recover their cooldowns and to recover their turn meter. But you can see that Okoye together with Black Panther, they are just destroying, and as soon as you have Black Panther going, it keeps going and going and going, and because it can give offense up to the entire team, that's not a problem. Now, compared to M'Baku, now we have Hulkbuster comparing to M'Baku. the difference is that whenever you use the special of M'Baku, you are giving counters to your team, and you're also giving more energy to your team as well, because you are giving more energy to Shuri. So in that regard, M'Baku is a little bit more helpful. And tell me exactly, where is Nakia going to be useful here? None of the enemies have charges, and none of the enemies have revive once. So unless the enemies we face in the Scourge event is going to be Dormammu and the other characters with revive like Adam Warlock, Gamora, unless that's going to be the case, I honestly cannot see the value for Nakia on the Scourge events. Okay, let's speed up this a little bit because I want to show you the other nodes as well. So let's go take a look at this at 50% speed. So I honestly don't see the value of Nakia in any game mode apart from Alliance Wars, and even in Alliance Wars it has to be in specific matchups where you are facing Dormammu or where you are facing multiple characters with charges. Once again, Kate Bishop or Strange Supreme or I don't even remember. The Tangled Web, they also get charges, so in that regard Nakia is going to be good. Okay, let's take a look at some more action of the Wakanda. This time we're going to use M'Baku instead of a Hulkbuster, and this is just to show you that M'Baku is not a trash character. Some people out there saying that forget about M'Baku, is 100% trash. It's definitely not the case, and you definitely don't have to use Hulkbuster to get the Wakanda. You can just use M'Baku and he's going to be fine. So last time I showed you this node, I got completely destroyed. Maybe it was my fault because I didn't focus on Shang-Chi, and instead of using the ultimate of Okoye, I used their special to apply the offense down. But you'll see that if we destroy the enemies, it's not going to be a huge deal. I decided to use the special here instead of the counter with M'Baku because he has the taunt. The taunt can be extremely important because you are focusing the damage where you want. With Nakia, it's the opposite. You are removing the focus of the damage out of her into the other characters, but maybe you don't want the other characters to be attacked as well. So, or you have to use Nakia and M'Baku at the same time, or otherwise it's not going to be good for you to be in a situation where one of your characters has stealth and all the damage is being focused on the other characters. This is one of the criteria that you use to choose if a character is good for Dark Dimension or not, is knowing if the characters are able to provide decoys or not. And decoys is like summons, because you can split the amount of the damage the enemies are dealing to your team through those decoys and through those summoners. So you can see right here that M'Baku with his taunt, he was able to protect the entire team. He was able to save Shuri from imminent death, and that will allow Shuri now to heal up M'Baku to the max, and now we're going to be able to use him once again. So it's the second node where we are using the Wakanda without having any problems. So you can see right here that we don't need Nakia for obtaining Dark Angel, unless once again we are facing some kind of Dormammu or characters with a lot of charges and a lot of revives. So let's take a look at the last node where I use Wakanda and see how well they perform. Okay, so here we go for the last global node where you can use Wakanda on the Pestilence Scourge event for Morgan Le Fay, and we are doing 3 nodes in total without any healing because you cannot heal on the Scourge. And here we are facing a few Karnaks and Black Bolt, so I have low expectations for M'Baku to survive because he's already on low health, and because those Karnaks, they are very problematic for tanks. So I was trying to decide what I'm going to do exactly here, if I'm going to go for the defense down or if I'm going for the ultimate, because we don't have the special. The special would be a better opening move here, but I decided to go with a basic so we can apply that defense down, and then we can use Black Panther in order to get those Karnaks down, and starting with our machine of constant attacks. Okay, so trying to decide here, this was during the live stream where we were doing this testing, that's why you can see my hands sometimes here, that I'm talking about with you guys in the audience. I love to talk with you guys, it's the reason why I do live streams, it's to talk with you guys and share this experience and learn together. So you can see that we destroyed that first Karnak. we are going for the second, and here we cannot taunt with M'Baku, so we are going to use his ultimate, and his ultimate is going to give 2 charges for everyone. Those 2 charges are extremely important, not only in Cosmic Crucible, but also in other game modes, because those charges will allow the characters to do more damage and to activate more abilities. Like M'Baku, whenever he has charges, he heals himself and he has higher block chance, and that means also damage reduction. And with Shuri, whenever she has a turn, and if she is charged, she's going to provide healing without it having to be the isolate healer or without being the ultimate ability. So that's going to be extremely important. Okay, so here we go with our train. We have a Black Panther already destroying the enemies, and I was trying to set up the situation, because if you can set up all your enemies to be very low, then you can capitalize that with your Black Panther. So unfortunately we lost M'Baku. He did the best he could. He provided charges to the team, he provided the counters, he provided big vulnerabilities to the enemies that will allow us to do more damage to the enemies. So yeah, would Nakia here do anything important? The only character with charges is Juggernaut, and it's only 1 charge, so that means Nakia is gonna get 1 charge as well. So we are able to capitalize on all those enemies that were very low, and now we have the final wave with power armor, and because we got so many additional attacks with the Black Panther, we are just gonna destroy them and not having any problem with it. So here we have I guess in this specific situation, Nakia would be useful because she would be able to remove those positive effects. But we also have Okoi. She assists every single time, and she's also going to remove those positive effects. So as long as we are having turns with our characters, we are going to be able to remove all those positive effects, once again making Nakia usefulness very low. So in conclusion, is Nakia a character that I can recommend? No, definitely not. It's not a character that I recommend, and it's not a character that I'm not gonna purchase by any means. And even the usefulness of Nakia is quite reduced, and I think this is an effort of the developers to change the war meta and to force players to use Dormammu on offense. And that's another thing. If you use Dormammu on offense, the value of Nakia is almost 0. The thing that she does best, fighting characters that have revived, fighting characters that have charges, is instantly gone if that's gonna be the case. Like, you just put Dormammu on offense and bye-bye the $50 that you spend on Nakia. And that's another thing. She costs $50 while she is a 45 shards unlock. So I honestly cannot understand where the developers are trying to bait you in order to purchase this character. Is it good for raids? Can you pair it up with Captain Sam and Okoi to be good on the skill rates? No. Is she going to be good for Dark Dimension? Is she able to provide any meaningful value in Dark Dimension? No. Is she able to provide more value than Killmonger or M'Baku or Black Panther Wind Millimeter for Cosmic Crucible? No. Is Nakia a must-have character for the Scourge event, where you'll be able to unlock the Archangel, the Death Horseman? Well, we don't know yet, so unless we are facing enemies with Dormammu, with a lot of charges, with a lot of revives, then Nakia is not going to provide any value there. And if we take a look at the Bionic Avengers, they don't have any features that compare to Nakia. So that means that if both of the teams are optional for you to use on the Scourge event, it means that they have to be somewhat balanced, and that means that for sure we are not going to face a lot of characters with revives or with a lot of charges. So in conclusion, I cannot find any gem that gives any value to Nakia. So once again, and as I said before, it's definitely a character that I don't recommend, and I would even tell you to not spending more than 200 power cores unlocking her. 200 cores per day maximum, and maybe even 100 cores per day, or 0 power cores per day to unlock her through her event, because she's just that bad of a character that once again, if you remove Dormammu from Alliance Wars defense and use him on offense, then her value is completely gone, and she's gonna be as important as Killmonger is, or M'Baku, or any other character in Alliance Wars, and outside of Alliance Wars she has lower value than any of the characters I just mentioned. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope this video provided useful information that will make your decisions, whether you should open red stars for her, whether you should go hard in unlocking her. And if you found information on this video helpful, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.